So, that's kind of how it's going right now. So I got to make a couple pushes and make some decisions. Thanks, folks. Signing out. This is Nighthawk. Later.
Oh my gosh, we're live. Well, Hawk ran late, and I'm used to hearing commercials, music and lead in. Gosh, do we even have a lead in, Keith? Did you have any idea if my music played tonight?
No, actually we're getting to start a little bit early as a result.
Really? It's 7:02. I don't really see that as too early, but anyway, okay, let me see. Afraa did not get to hear my music. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, she's got to come back and hear my music. Afraa, until you've heard this music, you have no idea what I'm talking about. It's like a game show, or a TV Johnny Carson sort of thing. Darn it, I'm sorry about that. All right, anyway, welcome to the show. This is the Stephen D. Kelley Show. Of course, you didn't get the announcement that would tell you that, but I am your host, Stephen D. Kelley. It is Sunday night on the West Coast. It is 7:02, going on 7:03. There's pretty much a full moon out, which is kind of fun. It's dark, getting close to winter. 10/25/2015. That's the date. I'm excited to bring you my next guest. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I came across this person. But as you know, I do a lot of work with Press TV, and I know quite a few of the editors, I guess you would say. Anyway, she did some work with them, did at least one video that I saw, and from Latakia, which is cool because that's where all the action is right now, and we talk about Latakia on the show. And if you recall, I think it was Gabby that said he had a cousin or somebody that lived over there. So for us to have somebody that lives there right now, this is pretty cool. But beyond that, this person is pretty special. She is. I'm going to do my best not to sound sexist for all the listeners. I know, because I'll catch flack after the show if I say anything like her age or how she looks or anything like this. So, Afraa, they're just going to have to get the vibe from your voice. But let me just say that she obviously is a Syrian citizen, lives in Latakia, a young person, and she learned English specifically, or at least so she told me, to help the cause, to educate people about the reality of what's going on, and to defend her country and become a activist, such as so many of us are in this business. So she's very much a colleague of mine, of course, naturally, because she is a contributor to Press TV. Obviously, that makes her a colleague right away. But either way, she's relatively new to the scene. I asked her, she's done, I think, a couple Press TV, couple appearances here and there. She can tell us, of course. But again, her career with all of this is just starting, and her English is pretty good. We were all concerned that her English wasn't going to be good enough, but I have to tell you, it's perfectly fine. And I know that as time goes on, I will have her back for sure, and I'm sure her English will get even better. But anyway, now, Afraa, hang on before I introduce you completely, because I want to do a little station identification and all that again real quick, if you don't mind. And again, this is Revolution Radio at www.freedomslips.com, Stephen D. Kelley Show. And we are the #1 listener-supported radio station in the world, which means that we have the most programming of any other station in the world. But we are 100% listener-supported, which means we don't take money from any corporations or any sort of agency or anything like that. And we just get it from listeners like you. So anyway, I don't pay attention too much, but I guess it is a little rough right now. We are behind because of some things that had to get replaced. And I'm going to get back to that real quick. But I'm just going to mention real fast that, speaking of things that have to be replaced, you'll notice my sound is really awful. I'm using a really crummy microphone that I had to scrounge because mine broke. And if you know anything about the one I was using here, it wasn't even the good one. My really good one broke. So if people, there's expenses with what we do here. We don't get paid for this, but there are expenses, and things do break. But hopefully my new microphone will arrive. It was supposed to be here this week, but it didn't arrive. And, I've got another 7 days before the next show, so hopefully it'll show up. If it doesn't, hopefully I'll figure something out, ask for help, whatever I got to do. But that being said, anyway, Revolution Radio has a promotion it behooves me to mention right now, because if you do something, if you participate in this promotion, and when I say participate in this promotion, I mean you have to do it within the 2 hours of me speaking, and we're into that time already by 7 minutes. So within the next hour and 23 minutes, if you make a donation to Revolution Radio for a minimum of $50, you will receive a 1-ounce bar of silver. Now, if you know anything about precious metal at all, you know that this is a really good deal. But there's a trick. You have to say Silver Rush on your donation, however you do that. And you also have to mention my name, Stephen D. Kelley, and you have to do it during this 2-hour period. So if anybody wants a 1-ounce bar of silver and they want to contribute to the station, because think about it, $50, 1-ounce bar of silver, what is that, $30, something like that? I don't know, Keith. You're a good producer. You're supposed to be looking this stuff up on the internet for me while I'm talking, but sorry, Keith, I couldn't resist.
Well, the main thing is it supports the station, and you get something in return. And
it's
but a bit less than 30. Anybody can get that up.
Right, but it could go up to $50 overnight, right?
That's
so
right.
So and you're donating to the station, and it's a cool deal. So anyway, I guess this is Hawk's trick to see if anybody's listening and to see who's actually promoting the show or promoting the station on the show. So I am pretty proud that I do a good job of promoting the station, and if my listeners, which I like to think are in a large number in spite of me being on Sunday and all that, which isn't really great, but if anybody would like to help out, please do, and please take advantage of this offer. And then that way the management will know that me, Stephen D. Kelley, has been doing what I can to support the station. All right. So again, that's Silver Rush, Stephen D. Kelley, on the whatever it is that you transmit to donate. And again, there's a donate button on the right side of the left side of the main page, which again is www.freedomslips.com. Anyway, all right, guys. Sorry about that, Afraa, but I don't normally do that sort of thing, but this is a promotion. But I should also mention, of course, that we do have our Facebook page. I have to apologize for some of the content lately. It's been a little on the silly side. The verbiage is, I don't know what you want to call it, but and the anime gets a little old. But hey. I do appreciate the almost 5,000 people that have joined it, and I'd like to see a lot more people join it. Also, join my page. I have room for at least 500 more people on my personal page, Stephen D. Kelley. Afraa just became a guest on a friend of my page, I'm pretty sure. But also, Stephen D. Kelley for President. Please promote that and share that and like that. And also, the Stephen D. Kelley Show has a Facebook page. Please go like that. Okay, anyway, I wasted a ton of time with that, but Silver Rush, Stephen D. Kelley. All right, again, welcome to the show. Tonight we're going to talk about Syria. My guest is Afraa Dagher. Afraa, please go ahead and unmute your microphone for me if you have not already. I want to say also, again, remember everybody, she lives in Latakia, and as of course we're all interested in hearing about the airport and the jets that are taking off and flying at all hours of the night. And she said that we might even hear that a little bit, but I thought that'd be kind of cool from it's not every radio show that gets to listen to Russian fighter jets taking off and bombing ISIS, right? Because that's just too cool if you ask me. So, Afraa, are you there? Hopefully. Afraa, unmute your microphone. Oh, I know. That's right. I forgot. She was messing around. We were having a little echo issue, and she was going to try to move some stuff around and deal with the echo. So I said that I would cover for her until she got done with that. Sorry about that.
Hello,
Oh, there
Mr.
she
Steven.
is. Hi, Afra. You can hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you for having me in your program.
Oh, I'm very happy to have you. And I really hope that you'll be on the show again many times. And of course, God willing, the war will be over soon. But as long as, I mean, you're in the center of all the excitement right now. It seems like Latakia, everybody's eyes are on Latakia. And I thought, what a wonderful opportunity to introduce you and have you introduce us to Latakia a little bit more. Huh?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
all
nice
right.
to join you.
Well,
And thank you for your listeners. Thank you for this program. It's nice to join you.
uh, let me ask you
It's
a
okay.
question. Okay. All right. First of all,
Yeah.
let's see. You're an architect, and you were telling me that the business is kind of bad right now. In fact, I'm glad I thought about this right now because the last time we talked, we decided that one of the most important things we could do tonight is push the idea that the embargo needs to be ended. Right?
Right.
That's a big deal. And I know you had a lot of things that you wanted to tell us, but of course I want to know all about you, and I want to know what your, how you met the people over there at Press TV and all that sort of thing, and what your plans are for the future. How long it took you to learn English, of course, is another interesting question. But the Russian jets, how close are you to the airport?
Latake is a small city, so it is pretty close, not that far. But I want to mention that Russia is leading the aerial operation, which is great. We need this cover for our soldiers in the ground.
Right.
Syrian Arab Army have been fighting those terrorist groups almost for more than 4 years till now. And these terrorist groups are not just a threat for Syria, they are a threat for the global world. So we wanted this support from our close ally, which is Russia. And so it is close for me because I hear the voices of the jets almost every day, especially in morning, and I feel wonderful because first of all they are here to support us and to being here just as a response to our elected government request that makes it legal and legitimate. And as I told you, we need this support because the other side, the enemy, the terrorist group, uh, are supported by all the world too. And they support them and they funded them, the other side, as the United States, for sorry, under the name of moderate rebels. While this name is totally phantom. It is not true at all. We don't have moderate rebels here in Syria.
I think most of the listeners, you'll find that the people that are listening to this show are very intelligent. They're not your average people. And we all know that ISIS was created by the United States, the Mossad, with the help of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and UAE,
Exactly.
Bahrain, et cetera, right? And ultimately, of course, this is a Zionist conspiracy, and we all know this. But
Yeah,
so
we know this and we live this.
I think most of us give Putin a lot of credit for what he's doing, and I think that where there's a very strong chance we will have peace. But at the same time, because Russia's there, your city is a target, right? Technically, huh?
kind of you may you know if we think like this, it is maybe some accident or conflict, you mean, between the Russian jets and the other coalition led by USA.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Maybe,
Or is
but I think it will be dangerous if USA thinks like this. I think they need to calculate it more. It's not easy. That may be
but they have insane people in the
thinking.
government. We have insane people in our government. You know that, right? We have,
Uh,
look at John McCain and Lindsey
yeah,
Graham, those guys, they're insane. The president, there's one country in the EU, I think, just said that Obama was insane. Did you hear that?
yeah, we know that. uh, I want
No.
to add something. My city also, as many other cities in Syria, is a target. Before this, also, I can tell you some incident happened here some months ago
Uh-huh.
when our army shot down a drone of the USA coalition, which was flying over my city in over some sensitive site, something like presidential palace here in Latakia. And
Uh-huh.
in this place where no ISIS, as they call it, not even any rebels. I think it's a kind of spying. They use such drone in Afghanistan. At that time, we shot down this drone. So I think, my city is a target even before the support of Russia.
Yeah,
Because we
I think you
suspect,
have protection. I think the Russians have installed a lot of protection, though. So you should feel safe.
yeah, it's our option to fight. So when you have your ally with you, it's better. But it's not safe at all since the beginning of this war. It is war. It is horrible war. Not safe.
Yeah.
But you cannot
Well,
hide your head. You will fight.
so what do you think? Do you think it's possible to get the embargo lifted? Like right now, while all this is going on, you think the world is ready?
We hope so. We cannot expect anything from this world. They are not honest at all. But we hope so. Look forward for this.
Do you
So.
think? Do you think you'd be affected? I mean, obviously, does this also affect your travel and things like this? How does the embargo affect you personally, besides
Uh,
work? I know work is slow because of the embargo, but is there any other ways that it affects you?
we're going to talk about embargo and sanction from the beginning of this war. Uh,
Well, I want to know how it affects you mostly and the people in Latakia. I mean, what you've seen. I know life is not so easy because of the embargo. Can you tell us about
yeah,
that?
yeah, thank you for this question. It is very, very important question to mention. Thank you for this. We feel as if they use the sanction as another kind of fighting Syrian people, another kind of war against Syrian people. They have been using food and medicine as another weapon against Syrian people to terrorize us more. So when they impose that sanction and they say the West say they impose this sanction on the regime, and they use this word, how could they say it is against all the regime? It is against Syrian people, that especially the poor people, because also the merchants unfortunately take their role as a warmonger also. So sometimes we couldn't find medicine because of this sanction. We have our good infrastructure, but those terrorists, the rebels, from the beginning of this war, their agenda, which they were playing here, to bomb infrastructure of Syria. So we don't have many factors for medicine. No, we build some of this, but we still suffer from lack of medicines. Also, the important point is the currency. The currency became so much down. Everything became so much expensive. So you will see many people under that level of good life of a normal human because of these sanctions. So they were not only by weapons, by sending mercenaries as their proxies, which are really monsters in their bombing to Syria and killing people, terrorizing people. Also, the important point, as mentioned, Stephen, is the embargo, is the sanction on Syrian people starving. They want to starve those people, and I am one of those people.
Well, I guess right now you're like you were telling me, you're using all your savings and whatever you have just to survive because work is slow and things like that. So yeah, you're certainly affected, and everybody, the poor people, have it much worse. But let me change the subject just a little bit. Tell me about what you do. I know you're an architect, and I'm fascinated with that. Could you tell me a little bit about what you do in your career, your architecture career?
I love to draw. I love to design. I love some special touches in building. But right now, I cannot practice this career because it is just words. Everything here is against building right now. You can see just they destroy everything. They bomb everything. Many places I love so much became memory. You can see just ruins because of this horrible war on against my country. So yeah, I hope later when peace come back again, I hope that I'll be a good architect again.
I think you'll have a lot of opportunity very soon. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be fixed and new things have to be built. I think maybe there will be foreign aid and there's got to be rebuilding. There's a lot of cities that need to be rebuilt that's going to require architects. Yeah?
Yeah, thank you. I hope that too soon. God
Yeah, I
willing.
think so. I think so, God willing. Yeah. Look at all the Syrian army right now. Look at all the territory that's being tell us about some of the areas that are being liberated right now. Almost Aleppo. I mean, I know. Oh, great. That wasn't me. That was you. Are you there? They don't want us to talk about Aleppo. Is that it? Well, you got quiet. Maybe you could have. Did you need to adjust something?
No, I will tell you about our Syrian Arab Army and their great work. They all the time, by the way, liberated important countries, but after every advance of our army, we will notice some involvement of Israel, by the way. I talk here before the Russian being in Syria to support us and to cover our work on the ground. So many times Israel launched airstrikes on important sites to support the terrorists here when they became depressed after great advance of our Syrian Arab army. And I think you hear of Palmyra, how the terrorists control it, how they came with their vehicles under the eyes of USA coalition. They moved from Ramadi in Iraq to Palmyra, which is a really a long distance under the eyes of USA coalition, and this coalition did nothing to stop them. And so our army really did great job, and they still doing this job. And now that in my city, they start to liberate the countryside of Latakia. Many people think that Latakia was safe, and no, no terrorists here. Some journalist from UK talked to me. He asked why Russia is in Latakia. Latakia is safe and there is no terrorists there. He was accusing us of
What a
bombing.
fool. What a fool. Because that's where the airport is, fool. God.
Yeah, that happened to me just 2 days ago. So, countryside of Latakia is close to Turkey, and so Turkey, we call those fighters here Erdogan fighters, and they were so close to the city, and they launched many missiles on my city. I talked about that also on schools of kids, elementary school, on hospital, on bank. I lost friends because of these missiles of those terrorists around us. Yet our army now doing great job by the support of Russia, and they liberate many important countryside in Latakia, also in Damascus, in Aleppo they work now. Aleppo is so close to Turkey. Our trouble, Tivan, is our border. If we talk geopolitically, because we are surrounded by enemy. Turkey wants Aleppo because it is important to join it to Aleppo. It is industry province, and Erdogan used to take some parts of Syria as he did to Antakya. Israel also is around us. Jordan is important to mention. It's a horrible rule. And Iraq, while the terrorists can easily smuggle into Syria.
What about Iran? What can you tell us about Iran? Okay, obviously, Israel, of course, is very upset because of Hezbollah, and something else that's really important happening right now. They're starting to take over area in the Golan. How long do you think before they take back the whole Golan and they push Israel back out of the Golan? You think that can happen?
Yeah, that's a very important point because in this occupied Golan Heights, also we lost some martyrs, not only from Syria, from Hezbollah, and also an important person from Iran. I forgot the name, unfortunately. And Israel wants to take more parts of Syria, but this will be far away for Israel as we are ready to fight Israel. And I hope we can liberate all occupied Golan soon. This is our war with Israel. This is the real war, and this is the original enemy of us. As you said, terrorists just we fight them by they are their proxies of Israel, of USA, and we know our real enemy is Israel and all this war because we are a member of Resistance Axis.
Yeah, well, it's quite a world, quite a club. Okay, well, let me just say this. You're in a war zone. If we lose power or internet, I want to remind listeners that we are in a war zone. I also want to, Keith, put that phone number back up for me. We'll take callers in the second half of the show. We're only halfway through the first half of the show, quarter through the show. So much to talk about. All right, I distracted myself for a second there. Gosh. All right, I want to hear. I was kind of hoping you'd tell us a little bit more about Latakia. I'm interested in, because I think that area is Assad's, his home, and is an Alawite, and I'm curious what you are, what you follow, some of the politics and the local stuff like that. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah. The general view about Latakia that it is only Alawites, and this is not very accurate. You can say most persons of Alawite in Latakia, but not all Latakia is Alawite. And by the way, Alawite is minority here in Syria. Yes, I'm Alawite also. But in Latakia, you see, if you check my page, many church, because we have good percent of Christian here in Latakia. Also, we have Sunni and also great percent, and also Alawite in some sides of Latakia and in some villages of Latakia. But they say it is Alawite maybe because the majority of Alawite here, and especially in some villages, and also what more? What you did ask me again?
Well, let me just ask you a little more different question. I'd like you to help me and the listeners learn about what it is, what an Alawite is, what the religion is about, what makes it different. How is it different from the Islam, Shia, or the rest of them, Sunni, all that. Tell us more about, because I don't think too many people understand. So this is an excellent opportunity for you to teach us about your faith.
Yeah, okay, I will tell you. But first, let me say something. Before this war on Syria, the goal of President Bashar al-Assad was to lead Syria to secular country, and that was the great goal for all of us. We were looking forward to make a secular country, to separate religion from the other issue of life from ruling Syria. So your religion is something for you, and the important is to respect the other, whatever he is. That is not your, as we think here. Leave everyone to what he believes in. However, for your question, dear Stephen, Alawite is a bit close to Shia, but we follow Imam Ali alayhi salam, and I give you some of his saying. He says, Imam Ali says, Jewish or Jews or Christian or whatever, they are not our enemy. Our enemy is our own ignorance. This is something important in our religion, and we are more free than other religions. Rarely to see any Alawite in hijab. For that, the Saudi countries, especially the kings of Saudi, used to fight us as we are kafir, because we are, as I told you, we don't believe in hijab. The majority.
Okay, let me just repeat that again, okay? Because we were talking about this kafir, okay? Kafir, I believe is how it's spelled, kafir, which is sort of a derogatory term as I see it, and that means essentially infidel. Okay. Right.
Non-believer. So
non-believer. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
and after most of rebels, I will tell you about their slogan when they were in their revolution, as they are peaceful seekers. Their slogan was, "We will send Alawite to their graves because they are kafir, and we will displace Christian because also they are kafir." So they were non peaceful protesters at all. And they fight us because they say Alawite is kafir, Alawite is kafir. We are not kafir, but this is our way in life. We believe in one God. We follow the principles of Imam Ali, which is full of peace, and the priority is to take care of your science, to respect others, as I told you.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Well, all right. Okay. Well, I guess that's certainly good enough for that. Oh, gosh, I know there's a lot of stuff that you want to say. All right, let's talk about a little bit about your little career that you've got going on here with Press TV. I know this isn't what you're not looking to be famous and all that, and then here I am trying to say, oh, come on, we're going to make you famous, and I hope it happens because I think you're definitely. I'm talking to the listeners now. This is a person who I think is going to be the face who represents Syria. I want her to be the face, not just represent Latakia, but to represent Syria, because obviously we're trying to win hearts and minds here. So I think the more people that get to know Afraa here, are going to learned that Syria is not such a bad place, at the very least. So, all right. Anyway, okay. So let me see. Gosh, as I distract myself. All right. Well, I know I'm going in a bunch of different directions, but okay. Again, the Hezbollah. We mentioned Hezbollah briefly. Uh, in Hezbollah is a very strong militia, or maybe not very strong, but they're very trained, well disciplined, tough
Yeah.
militia. And of course, Israel can't stand, has issues with Hezbollah, and of course, the Iranians, especially the Revolutionary Guard, or whatever it is, Republic. I think that's what they call them. They're threatening that they're going to do something if any of these people show up near Israel, which I assume is going to be the Golan. And of course, area is being taken in the Golan right now. And I don't think that Israel is going to all of a sudden become the military power able to take on Russia. But at the same time, they're capable of staging some sort of an attack, a false flag, a nuclear bomb, a dirty nuclear bomb, something like this, a terrorist attack, and blaming it on Iran or who knows what, Assad. I mean, listen to what Netanyahu's saying right now. He's blaming the Palestinians for the Holocaust. He's a crazy man. So, but can you talk about that a little bit? I mean, what do you see happening? I know we were talking about Press TV. I want to get back to that, but tell us a little bit more about what you think about the Iranian army as well as the Hezbollah. And have you seen it? I mean, what's it like? Do you know any of these people? Do you talk to, like the Russians? Same thing. Do you talk to any of these people?
For Hezbollah, not only they have been trained very well, and what I admire and what I like about them, they have their ideology, and they are ready to die for what they believe in. So they seek martyrdom. They are not afraid from death. They seek this death because, yes, I talked to a friend from Hezbollah, a lot of friends from Hezbollah, and they were sad for some days, but it was his desire to live to live this life. They think they are not they are not a creator for this life. They are creators for the other life, and their mission in this life is to protect people and to help oppressed people. They follow Imam Hussein, and they think in this way they will meet him in the other life. And so it is hard to defeat such people. You cannot threaten them by death because they seek death. I have another friend now, and all the time I try to convince him, please try to stay alive. He laughs at me, and he say, no, it's not what I seek. Those people are great people. For Iranian people, I think that they have same ideology and not close so much to a fighter from them, to be honest. But the original enemy for both of them, as well as for our Syrian Arab army, is Israel, because we know about the greater Israel. We know Israel is taken a part of Syria, which is occupied Golan, exactly as Turkey. Turkey also had a part of Syria. Liwa al-Iskandarani, we call it in Syrian.
A big part, isn't it? Kind of a large part, I believe. Huh? The whole coastline? The whole southern coastline, right?
In coastline, yeah, it's close to Latakia, and we have many relatives there in this side of Turkey right now, but it is Syrian.
Right. Let me say something real quick here. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I just want to say it for the listeners. If you look at a map and you look at the coastline, Latakia, of course, is the small part of Syria that actually touches the Mediterranean. But if you go to the border to where it reaches Turkey and you go north and then you continue up the coast all the way until the coastline becomes perpendicular, facing southward, that whole area used to be Syria. Okay, so that's a huge area, basically, huge coastal area too. So that's what we're talking about. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly, in the north of Syria to the west. Yeah, exactly. It is, we call it Liwa Iskenderun in Syria. They call it Antakya or something like this. And you can see even some Syrians still there because for that you will see demonstration against Erdogan in Turkey because some people are Syrians there and they still support their motherland Syria. That's important to mention about. So our original enemy, the real enemy, is Israel. This is our ideology as Syrian Arab Army, as Hezbollah. Hezbollah also, Israel took some important part from Lebanon. It is Sheba, farmer of Sheba, and Lebanon is all the time under the airstrikes of Israel as well as Syria. So we have one enemy, and also for Iran, we will use this false flag as a nuclear deal later to fight Iran. So we have one enemy. So for that, we are one against those enemy, which is Israel.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Vladimir Putin has put a stop to Greater Israel. Huh? You think?
Yeah. Look, also important thing about Putin that I'm happy about the Russian airbase here in Syria because it will face the NATO airbase in Turkey. This is important.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Incrylic, I guess, is what it's called. It's Cyrillic. Yeah. I can't pronounce it properly, but yeah, that's I talk to a lot of Turks. At least I used to. I'm kind of angry with Turkey lately. I used to have a lot of respect for them, but they don't. They used to claim that America was not in Turkey, and obviously I know better. But yeah, having the United States and a land air base right there is not good. What about China? Have you seen any sign of China there where you live?
I don't know why Syrian people are in love with Russia more. we we care more about Russia. We know that China helped Syria also, especially in using a veto to stop any war against Syria, as it was in 2013 when Obama wanted to bomb Syria directly, as if he didn't bomb us yet. So we thank China for this, and we like this about China. But Syrians in love with Russia so much, and you can ask me more about Russia. I don't know so much about China. We care of Russia because we are in touch with them. We know our president all the time in touch with them. We try to listen to Mr. Lavrov more. We trust Russia more, to be honest.
Of course. I hate to say it, I feel the same way. Seriously, I think Russia's not imperialist. Everyone tries to say Russia's imperialist, and I don't see that at all. And when Russia moved into Afghanistan, of course, that was very unpopular. But what people don't understand is the only reason why Russia did that was because they thought for sure the United States was going to take over Iran.
Exactly.
That's why they did that. That's the only reason they did that. Otherwise, I don't see Russia being imperialistic at all. In the Crimea, Crimea wanted to become Russian, and Crimea used to be part of Russia. So, but the Chinese, of course, what they're doing in the Pacific with those little islands, I don't think that's fair. Not to Vietnam, not to Malaysia, not to the Philippines. It's in their waters. It's not Chinese waters. So, and of course, the Philippines depends on the United States to do something. But what is the United States going to do? Get in trouble? And Malaysia and Vietnam, they're not going to ask the United States for help. So they're kind of in trouble. Anyway, but that's a big issue with China, of course. Xi Jinping, I guess his name is. I don't really know enough about the guy, but he seems like a pretty tough guy. Kind of a lot like Putin, right? But Putin's a nice guy too. Putin's a human.
Also for Russia, it is our old ally.
Yeah,
in
always.
the year 73, as I studied and I hear from my parents, and also Russia supplied the Syrian Arab Army and the Egyptian one with weapons against Israel in the in October War. So Russia is not a new ally. We trust it, and we know it very much more than China. We don't know too much about China. It's not very familiar to us, not as Russia.
Well, Russia, of course, the military has changed quite a bit since those days. They've gotten the weaponry has gotten very sophisticated, very similar to what the Americans used here recently. At least almost as good. I think it's almost as good. Some people say it's the same. I don't quite see that, but still, it's pretty darn important. The other thing that Russians have done that I've heard that seems to be really important is they've made life more comfortable for the Russian soldier. And they say that the facilities that they set up in Latakia for the Russian soldiers are very nice compared to anything that they're used to. And there's gift stores and everything else. But are there do you see them in town right now? The pilots and what have you?
No, I didn't see them directly. As I told you, I noticed their jets, and I love the show they do in our sky. You feel safe. They are professional, but some of my friends notice them in some so close points. And as I told you, Syrian love them too much. They are polite people because they feel you invited them, not as America in Iraq. We cannot compare at all.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. You bring up a very important point. If you look at the difference, first of all, let's start out by saying that Russia has essentially taken over the Middle East from the United States, with the exception of Afghanistan. Of course, the United States will not give up Afghanistan now for sure, but they did it in a week almost with not a whole lot of planning. I mean, obviously they do war games and this sort of thing, but they're able to launch a massive logistical operation apparently within weeks, and then basically destroy the enemy within roughly 30 days for a large part. And being in the business myself, I know that the preparation for attacking Iraq took months to prepare. And the whole time they were doing their negotiations and trying to find peace, of course, it was a big lie. They planned on attacking always. But that's the thing. I think that's a big advantage for the Russians, is that they can move very fast. So we sure saw that. What else do you want to tell us?
As you say, for Russia, in less than 3 weeks, achieved more than what USA coalition achieved almost for a year. Here, they pretend that they are fighting.
Wait a minute! Didn't they bomb several power plants? I know they just recently bombed a power plant. They destroyed the electricity for Aleppo. Wasn't that nice of them?
Exactly. They destroyed the electricity station.
Take that, ISIS.
This is ISIS.
Yeah. It's such a favor for the people, huh? Gosh.
They left people there without electricity, and no media mentioned this.
Yeah. Oh, that's not going to cause refugees, right? Anyway, it's crazy. I hate it.
Yeah.
Let me just say this here real quick, Afraa. Okay, It's about 10 minutes before the end of the first half, and I highly encourage people to call in. And we have a number that I'm pretty sure is going to be working, and it's 928-202-4608. Okay, that's 928-202-4608. Okay, so that's when we come back from break. Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes before that. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Was there something you were going to say?
Okay, thank you for this special interview. Thank you.
Well, so far we're lucky that we have not lost power or internet. Is this a good time of day to do a show for you? I mean, does the power go off a lot? I know my friends in Damascus, they say the power's off half the time. How often is that power off for you?
We have 3 hours of electricity and 3 hours without power, without electricity, and this is great comparing to the past. To some weeks ago, it was just 1 hour sometimes of electricity, sometimes no hours, sometimes half an hour, no special time to know about it because the terrorists all the time bombing the infrastructure. But now things are getting better. I'm happy to have power, electricity, and net for 3
But did you
hours.
say it was 3 hours on and 3 hours off?
Right now? Yeah.
Okay. And before it was 1 hour on and 1 hour off?
No, 1 hour on and 5 hour off.
Oh, God.
Sometimes more. Sometimes we
Oh,
feel
okay,
depressed.
okay. I get it. All right. All
And
right.
you
I'm
cannot use your phone because you need to recharge and you can't.
okay. You need to find 2 car batteries. Okay. I know it's expensive, but you can do this. You find a couple of car batteries. Get somebody over there to help you hook that up, and you'll have power. You can charge it when you have power, and then when the power's off, you can run your phone and everything off of that. Hmm?
Yeah, but another point, not they are so expensive, and the other point is we don't have the original battery, the original issue because of the sanction on Syria.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Well, again, the main message that we want tonight is to get the sanctions ended. And the only real way that we can do that is to first point out to people, starting with our listeners, of course, that sanctions do exist and that they're hurting the people. They've existed for a long time, and that this is economic terrorism. And of course, the United States is very much responsible for this. This is just another type of warfare when they're not dropping bombs, but they're still starving people. So hopefully, if we do accomplish something tonight, other than introducing everybody to Afraa, we want to make them think about the effect of the sanctions and think about talking about it to their whoever, because obviously the more of us in this community that talk about these things, the more power we have to make changes. And I think that, of course, we're very effective. Afraa, you were talking about how it was 2 years ago, 2015, that Obama wanted to bomb, and how events caused that to not happen. But that's when I first started doing shows about Syria and having the guys from Damascus on, and I'll tell you, I really think, and I've heard a lot of people say this, that the one show that we had the first time we introduced these people, this had not happened before. There was not shows with people from Damascus talking. So it was a big deal, and I like to think that that had something to do with changing everyone's
Yes.
opinion.
Yes,
stopping. I'm patting myself on the back. I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that. Anyway. But no, it just reminded me that it's been at least 2 years since at least this program, this station or this show that you're on right now has been fighting this battle against the war against your country. So anyway, gosh, what were you doing 2 years ago? Did you speak English 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Did you?
At first, I started my war here because we have already a real front. It is media, and they use horrible to separate Syrian people.
Oops, there's our break. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead and mute your microphone for me, and just relax. It'll take us about 4 minutes, and we'll be right back, everybody.
freedomslips.com. And we'll be right back after this message.
This is Thomas, a.k.a. a Mad Painter. I'd like you to join me Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Open Canvas. Don't forget to bring an open mind.
Yes, folks, that's right. Bring an open mind to an open canvas. Again, that is Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. UFOs to government corruption. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here.
Transcending time and space, let us take you to the place inside your mind where thoughts divide and mysteries unwind. Join us every Monday evening right here on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And you will catch the Fenton Perspective with our great host, Lorian Fenton. Come listen in as she shares her amazing stories from the past to present, along with all of her guest secrets to the future. That's the Fenton Perspective every Monday evening right here from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, only on Revolution Radio. Oh, and you don't need to expect us. We're already here.
Did you ever feel that things were not quite right? That everything was just ever so slightly askew?
Do you have, to paraphrase Morpheus, a splinter in your mind?
If you're interested in hearing the latest information about UFOs, the paranormal,
Ancient cultures and structures,
monatomic elements,
longevity,
fantastic discoveries in science,
downloaded to your brain,
then tune into us. Hi, I'm Dave.
and I'm Mackie.
And we are Shiny Side Out, Sundays 2 to 4 a.m. Eastern. See you then.
Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here. The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
I said da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Hi, everybody. Sorry.
Hi.
Welcome back to the show. Gosh. This is the second half of the show. This is the Stephen D. Kelley Show. I am Stephen D. Kelley. We are talking to... I wish I could say all the things I want to say about Afraa Dagher from Latakia. I was going to say, I was trying to come up with a good name for you, for your, because there's Syria girl, and we need something else for you. I was thinking Afraa from Latakia. I don't know if that sounds like too much, but you're Afraa from Latakia. Okay? Who's that? That's Afraa from Latakia. Oh, that'll be it, okay? Afraa from Latakia. What do you think? Sound good?
Yes. I call myself Afraa Syria because every part from Syria is a part from me. And by the way, before of this war on Syria, I was fighting for Palestine, for the south of Lebanon, for Iraq. I did so much for Iraq. There were no good net in Syria. This net is brought to us by our president, Dr. Bashar al-Assad. His priority was to, as I told you, to spread science and to make us exactly as Europe, as he lived in for studying, as he studied in UK. So he wants to to bring the same style of life as in Europe to Syria. But before he was here, I told you I also was fighting. It's in something in my blood. I cannot see oppressed people and keep silent. Something shame, as I am a human, as you do for us. You are an American. You care for us. So what about us here? Also, I care of this human issue. I was so sad for Iraq when also the mainstream media was portraying it as if Iraqi people are happy by American soldiers and they were destroy the Iraq, and that was really sad when you help the foreign soldiers to destroy your country, and later we watched the results about the jail of Abu Ghraib and the horrible life they brought it to Iraq.
I think you bring up a good point. Let me just say this. You talk about the war crimes, Abu Ghraib, obviously. I think all the time about the civilians in Iraq that didn't need to die, and because I have kids. Okay, I have 6 kids, and some of my sons, I see some of the civilians, that they're victims, and it reminds me of my family, and it's not right, because obviously no matter what, there's no reason to invade that country. So it was all wrong, which kind of brings me to something that just came up in the news. So I guess I'll get your opinion on it, since we mentioned Britain here recently, and that is Tony Blair coming out and apologizing for attacking Iraq, and saying that now he realizes that led to the creation of ISIS. Of course, these are lies. I was talking to Press TV about this last night, but this is significant, though. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we use in Arabic. We say where to spend this, as if you need some money from some person and he give you nothing, he give you some words, and okay, God with you. So you say where to spend this. This is not helpful. So it is too late for Tony Blair. It's too late. He destroyed a life of people, in not limited people. He destroyed the life of Iraqi people. They committed many atrocities there, and it was shame. They bombed countries under false flag as mass destruction weapons of Saddam Hussein, and it was false flag just to justify their work against those people. And as you mentioned, their crimes in jail of Abu Ghraib for civilians. This is something against our humanity. This is shame. And also for Syria, they wanted to use many false flag, sometimes chemical weapons to bomb Syria. Then when they failed in this, they sent their mercenaries, ISIS, and later they want to invade Syria to bomb ISIS by their coalition. So we used to this press to their lies, and we used to this false flag for justify wars against us here in Middle East. So it's too late for Mr. Tony Blair, and we don't believe him at all.
Yeah, I had the opportunity last night. I wanted to say that he was a coward, for doing this. I think he's a coward. I think Bush may be stupid, but I don't know. I think Tony Blair is a coward. I think that's why he did that. You bring up an interesting point, though, that I want to bring up. I want to get you to speculate a little bit, because this is something that I've never thought about. And of course, I think if the American version will be very bad. But when we talk about Abu Ghraib, with the Russians, wow, this is turning into an important question. All right, being that the Syrian army is doing most of the work on the ground, what do you think is going to happen to any prisoners that they capture that are, real ISIS. I mean, I know, and I'm not talking about FSA guys that are just workers that got angry, but most of them have quit, I think. But I mean, hardcore, like foreigners, Chechens and things like that. What do you think will happen to them?
You brought important point. Also, I will talk about some prisoners from Syrians who were also brainwashed, and we'll talk also about those strangers at Chechen and Afghan, Libyan. We have many nationalities here in Syria from all over the world, from more than 83 countries. For the Syrians, all the time, our president issued tolerant and to forgive them if they promised not to carry weapon against civilians against. And we were a bit angry, but we trust his decisions all the time. So our Syrian army are moral people so much to no level. We trust them and we love them. They are ours. They are from our families, and they are high moral people. And for those strangers, for Chechen, who committed many massacres, even here in Latakia, in countryside of Latakia, in Jisr al-Shughur, for Alawite families, for Christian families, and also for Druze families. And they put it on their YouTube. Anyone can go to YouTube and write about Chechen massacres in Latakia, and you will see they put it, not us who put this crime on YouTube. So I ask our soldiers not to forgive them, not to have any mercy on them, but for sure not to cut or behead them as they do to us. It is not our moral to behead anyone, or just to show them in human way as they deserve to be punished.
No running over with tanks or anything like that, huh? Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously we know the Syrian army has suffered and fought. People call them lions. Okay, they're lions, and I know they're talking that when this is over, that the Syrian army is going to come out of this so strong and so well trained, well disciplined. They'll be able. Well, we're not going to say it, but they'll be very good. And of course, so many of them have been executed and had horrible things happen to them. And I know you talk about Palmyra. Palmyra, horrible things happen in Palmyra, and I know that Assad wanted to go rescue Palmyra first, but the Russians said no. We've got to move into Aleppo first. It's strategically more important. We need to secure that area and the area of Latakia and all of those areas. But and the guy that was running, because I know we had. We have other guests. One of them is a professor at the university, Damascus University, and she talks about the guy who was running the antiquities department over there and all the treasures, and they cut his head off and hung him up, crucified him or something. So I agree. It's almost impossible to have mercy for those type of people, and they need to be removed. And you, like you said earlier, these people are being imported into the United States and Europe. But another thing that I wanted to say, based on something you said earlier, and that is that everybody needs to understand that the purpose of creating ISIS and these groups, aside from being horrible, is to do exactly what they're doing now, and that is to spread the terror throughout the Western world so that they can use this as an excuse to install a police state and move into martial law. And of course, we're always expecting a false flag attack, like you mentioned, false flag attacks too. This is certainly something that happens here in the United States quite a bit. And between you, me, and everybody else listening, I'd say watch out for Halloween for any kind of false flag attack, because these people are satanic. And Halloween is a very, 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 very important satanic holiday for these people. Samhain, I believe, is what they call it. But either way, it's not. They like to do things on Halloween, like shoot down airliners. So don't be surprised if somebody gets nuked and they try to blame it on ISIS or somebody of this nature. So anyway, important times. The main thing is that we get through this, and hopefully Russia is very effective. And in the best case scenario is that Russia, of course, is very effective, roots them all out, and of course the best case scenario is the United States doesn't completely collapse, and we're somehow able to throw out these satanic bastards, if you will, pardon me, that are running everything here. So, again, I apologize for my crummy microphone. I see we're 12 minutes into the hour. I want to again throw out that phone number because I don't see anybody calling. And yes, Afraa, you are doing wonderful. I have to tell you, some of the things you've said so far are really important, and it just kind of blows me away. And and you're right in the middle of all this stuff. Okay, anyway, the call-in number, again, is area code 928-202-4608. Again, that was 928-202-4608. And I would like to see at least one brave individual. Come on now. Oh. Hey, if you call in on Skype, do we have Skype, Keith?
Yes, anybody can who has my contact can call in. Also, send me a contact request, and Freedom Screen also is a Skype contact should work.
Okay, so either the word Freedom Screen, one word, or Keith AZ, which is capital KEITH, capital AZ. Anyway, so, if you're not connected, of course, Keith will hook you up real quick, and you can talk. But special bonus, if you come in on Skype, you get to see Afraa's face on her photo. Ha ha. I'm trying to entice people. I'm sorry, Afraa, that's terrible. But I'm trying to entice people to call in, okay? Sometimes I have to do cheap things like offer my book. Oh, by the way, I sent Afraa my book. Gosh, I don't know. I know you had to go to sleep last time I was talking to you, but I'm curious, of course, when you get a chance to actually look at it to see what you think.
Yeah, of course I will. Thank you for sending me the book, and I will read it for sure. This is important.
Well, most definitely. I'm really anxious to kind of hear about your how you perceive the things that I say in it. So, anyway, all right. Like I said, 50 minutes of the show. Don't disappoint us. Somebody call in. At least at the very least, somebody call in from chat. And again, it's 928-202-4608, and show us that our phone's working. Because I'll tell you, we haven't really had hardly any calls here for several shows, and it's kind of discouraging, especially when you have wonderful guests like this. It's a great opportunity to get some perspective from somebody living in a war zone. Well, okay. Afraa, have you traveled at all, by any chance? Just curious.
I'm sorry, Evan, would you please repeat?
Have you done any traveling? I mean, I know you're born. Yeah. Have you gone anywhere? Any other countries?
Out of Syria, just to Lebanon. I have some relatives there, but not for Europe or no, just between Syria and Lebanon.
You think you could get on a plane and fly to USA if you wanted to?
I love to travel, but I don't want to leave Syria, especially in such crisis. I want to stay.
Okay. That's fair. I don't blame you, but I'm just curious if if you became famous and we needed you to fly around and do things like that, if that was something with the well, why not? If the you got to be on TV or something like that. So if you wanted to, does the embargo affect your ability to fly? Are the carriers not allowed to, or would you have to? You have to go somewhere probably.
Yeah, you brought to my mind some also memory about election. If you want to mention it, when people want to further traveling, you cannot come directly to Syria, and you cannot leave Syria directly to any other country because of embargo. So you need to go to Lebanon, then from Lebanon to the other parts of the world. And the opposite also is right. So anyone want to come to Syria, to Lebanon, then to Syria, because of this embargo.
How easy is it to go to Lebanon?
not very easy right now because also in Lebanon they suspect people became refugees and they want to come to Lebanon to work there or to live there, and we are not welcomed at all in Lebanon. While we welcomed all people from Lebanon, from Palestine, from Iraq, from Armenia, from everywhere, but many terrorists between the refugee force story, and so I cannot blame them. And you don't want the Syrian to take the chance from them in some field of work like this.
Like
so
architecture.
It's not very welcome. But better than nothing. At least you have Lebanon. Then from Lebanon you fly to other countries.
Okay, well, that's another reason why we have to get the embargo lifted. Okay.
Yeah. I hope they will lift sanctions, this embargo. We need this. You feel as if you are in prison.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it could be worse. You could be in Palestine, maybe. What do you think? The Gaza, perhaps. I think the Gaza's got it worse. Which one's worse, Gaza or West Bank? I think Gaza.
Yeah, no, because this third Intifada. We were also shocked about Palestinian rules here in Syria. We thought they would support us, and for certain, some Palestinians, most of them were against us.
Why? Why would they be against
because
you?
Because of Islamic Brotherhood ideology, because of the some wing of Hamas, the political wings, Khalid Mishal, which is in Qatar right now, and his ideology is. You can say he is Islamic Brotherhood, and some people follow him, and Syria supported him too much. He were here in Syria before this war, and when this war started on us, he left to Qatar, and he is as Qatari king. So his followers is fight against us. Some of them here in Syria, we hug them as if they were Syrians. Unfortunately, they were not good on us. Lately, we captured some group who were committed suicide bombing in homes. Most of them are Palestinians.
Wow.
But with that, we still support Palestine, and we skip such small issues. We support Palestine, and we are sorry for what is going on right now in Palestine against them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for that. Again, your content is incredible. We had a little bit of audio, but I guess what I really wanted to say was I hope everybody that's listening can hear what Afraa is saying and is paying attention to what Afraa is saying, because there's quite a bit of information here and firsthand perspective. So this business with the Palestinians being religiously opposed or politically opposed to Bashar Assad or Alawite people or Syrian people in general is very disconcerting. To me, that seems like a Zionist plot to polarize people, to divide people. But it's almost like it's very similar to when ISIS says that they don't support Palestine either. It's kind of hard to keep track of things like that. Let's talk. I mean, there's other things we could talk about. I'd like to talk. There's a lot happening in Saudi Arabia. I'd like to get your perspective on that, especially as a woman yourself who's not wearing a hijab. And talk to me about that. What do you think in general terms, especially with what's going on now with the war in Yemen and the seemingly collapse of the monarchy? What can you tell us?
Yeah, about Saudi Arabia, it is another phase of Israel. At least Israel, it is your enemy, you know that. But for Saudi Arabia, they have a seat on the Arab League, and this is shameful. They consider themselves as a leader of Arabs. and they bomb Yemen now. They made their coalition anti-Yemen, the Arab NATO, I call it. Sorry. So for Saudi Arabia, it's the last country can decide our destiny and can talk by our name. They don't have any right to talk by our name. They have their horrible crimes against Yemeni people, and they don't have any democracy in Saudi Arabia. They put women in jail if she drives a car, and everything is forbidden for women in Saudi Arabia. It is a horrible country, and they don't have any right to talk by our name. I all the time see the foreign minister of Saudi Arabia, Adel Jubair, want regime change in Syria, and this is shameful. Who give this person the right to talk by our name? And Saudi Arabia is a partner in slaughtering Syrian people. They funded mercenaries and they sent mercenaries, Saudi mercenaries, to Syria. Those people, those fighters, those idiots and criminal fighters, think it is they join the notion of Islam and Syrian are not Muslims and not people who believe in God. This is not their business, and they don't fight for Palestinian people. Palestinians, most of them, all of them are Muslims and Sunni. So why you don't help those people against Israel? So Saudi Arabia is a disaster. They are the real Israeli, also the Zionist Israeli.
Well, can you tell us about the Wahhabis a little bit? What do you know about them? Wahhabism? Yeah. Do you think that it's like Arabic Zionism somehow?
Exactly, yes. And it is the Saudi Arabia is the motherland of Wahhabism. This ideology, they fight anyone who is not Muslim, they don't consider any Muslim is Muslim. They have their own way, and this is not, by the way, not the real Islam, and that's not the notion of Islam. If anyone reads Islam deeply and read it many times, you cannot force anyone to convert to Islam. Sorry. So I hate their ideology. And Saudi king used to behead people, prisoners, by his sword. I don't know how Saudi Arabia is an ally to Europe when they are a real criminal.
Well, obviously it's all about money and oil, right? And I think there's a lot of reasons for trying to destroy Syria, Greater Israel, of course. Not giving back the Golan, and of course those Persian countries or Persian Gulf countries want to build a pipeline right across Syria to sell oil to. Yeah.
I want to tell you some joke now. They're afraid right now that it is Russia here, and Russia is Christian, and Russia is trying to spread Christianity, and so the Saudi religious men want all people to join against Russia because Christian. So they are horrible people in Saudi.
Okay, I have to say something about what you said, because I think that's an important point. And as a Christian myself, I have to say this. But Saudi Arabia. Okay, this is two parts. First part is Saudi Arabia went to Moscow and said that they wanted to build massive mosque in Moscow, and right, and Putin said, okay, fine, no problem, we'll give you a fine real estate for you to do this. He said, under one condition, you have to allow me to build a Orthodox Christian church in Saudi Arabia, in the capital. And he said, well, there's no way you could do that. He said, and he goes, well, why not? Right? He says, because your religion is not true.
Oh my God.
And Putin's, of course, there you go. And Putin says, well, that's the same way I feel about you. So that's it. But second part, Saudi Arabia is offering $36 billion to build mosques throughout the United States. Okay? You see the
Yeah.
difference here?
I see. Yeah.
But where's the churches in Saudi Arabia? Where's the Christian faith in Saudi
Just,
Arabia? Yeah. So not fair, is it?
no, not they don't accept the other.
Yeah. Well, this is important detail here, and I'll tell you, ever since I've started fighting for Syria, I've made friends with a lot of people all over the world, but many people from Arabic countries. Obviously, a lot of people from Syria and other places. But right away, they always ask me. They go, "Where are you from?" I go, "What do you mean? Where am I from?" USA. It's like, how do you know? How do you not know that? But anyway, but the point is that it's important for me. Religion, between you and me and everybody listening. I know I don't want to insult anybody, but you'll learn that I'm very spiritual. I try to be very spiritual. I certainly am trying to be very spiritual on this program, and I teach metaphysics and things like that. And obviously I'm Christian, but I'm not preaching Bible. But at the same time, I'm having a lot of people coming on and explaining Islam and telling us about the truth about Islam and how, the closeness with Christianity and all this. And I think we all know who the troublemaker is here, but at the same time, religion for me is not what controls me. Okay, between you and me, obviously I'm my own boss. I have my own relationship. Of course, I have a relationship with Jesus, but that's my thing. But at the same time, I'm not going to church, and I'm not controlled by the Pope or somebody, in a robe. If you know what I'm saying. So I hope you appreciate that. But at the same time, I want to promote understanding as much as possible, but I have a lot of friends who hate Muslims. They just, and I don't want to call it, but see, I have friends, all kinds of friends. Some of these people are Nazis, and I don't have too many Jewish friends anymore. Most of those guys are gone because I'm not going to argue about that stuff. But as far as Muslim people, Christian people, and various different persuasions all over the place, it's unfortunate. There's a lot of hatred still, and this is another reason why Afraa, I really want people to get to know you, because I have to be honest, you're very attractive, and I was looking at your Facebook profile, or some of the little videos that you did, and the guys go crazy. They write, there were things they write to you, for obvious reasons, of course, but the thing is that I see there's also a lot of pride from people in what you're doing, okay? And like, for instance, when I asked Press TV to help me connect with you, to have you on the show tonight, I sent a message to about 4 different producers, or 4 different editors, at least 4, maybe more. And they all got back to me, of course, and they all had wonderful things to say about you. They didn't know much about you. One of them told me he thought you were Palestinian, which was kind of funny.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, I thought. But he thought for sure you were Palestinian. I said, I don't care, whatever, just get me connected. But the thing is, the point I'm trying to make here is that these people, and mostly they're guys, I think, because that's most of the people I deal with are guys. With a few exceptions, but they're very proud of you, okay? And they're very proud of the way you are representing. But I see also how quickly they've embraced you and want to, and I don't want to say this in a negative way, but they want to use you, okay? We all want to use you because we can see the power that you have. You're a star. Seriously, you have what it takes. You could be, Kim Kardashian, if you know what I mean, right?
Oh, no.
Yes. Okay, well, all right, you don't have all that stuff going on that Kim Kardashian has going on, but seriously, this is what I'm talking about, that kind of personality. I think the more you are in front of the camera, with Press TV, of course, you need to do that more. You need to be on the camera, not just the phone interviews. And I'm sure those guys will start using you more for that. Keep working on your English, of course, because that's going to be very important.
Yeah,
but I think that if we can get you introduced to the people, and not just, I'm mostly representing the United States, but here in the United States we have about 200 million people who are really stupid, okay, and they listen to anything, they listen to the TV and stuff like that, and those people are affected and controlled by images and personalities, people like Kim Kardashian. So this is why we need to have people like you to attract their attention and get them to focus on you and get them to maybe think for a second and wake up, possibly. So I'm really excited about your career and about the future and what you can do. I mean, obviously, I'm excited about what Putin's doing, and I think it's going to be over soon. But at the same time, I don't want any trouble with the United States or Israel, stuff like that. And this is why somebody like you can show your face to the American public and to the Western world, the UK, et cetera, and people will fall in love with you and fall in love with Latakia and fall in love with Syria, hopefully. I mean, I don't know about Assad. I mean, obviously he's not, I mean, his wife's nice, but, he's not, I don't have anything against Assad, right? But he's, and obviously ISIS is bad, but he still has a bad reputation for treating a lot of people really badly, and I suspect that.
But in Syria, he is so much beloved, and he has majority voices of Syrian to be our president. And I will tell something. Before he became a president of Syria, when we lost our ex-president Hafez al-Assad, we ran to the street. We Syrian people. I was at school at that time, but I joined the demonstrations of Syrians. They were saying by one voice, "God, Syria and Bashar, lead us. Bashar, we need you to be the next president." That was before he became to the leadership, to the presidency of Syria. For that, he didn't come by himself, by the way. We wanted him before he wanted to be a president. So we him here in Syria. I don't know about this. He's close to people. He visited people in Sueda before this war. Poor people. He asked a woman, "What do you want?" She said to him, "Oh my God, is this a dream? Are you the president of Syria?" Then he just asked her. She was a poor woman. "What do you want? Just tell me what you want." Then he is a great person, and we love him here in Syria. I don't know why his reputation is bad outside. Maybe because of media and press, but in Syria we love him. If we don't love him, you won't see Syria still standing on its own 2 feet till now, before the help of Russia. Russia is here because we are strong army. We defended Syria for more than 4 years, not as Libya, not as any other country. If we were weak, no one will help us, to be honest. And we are strong because we believe in this man and we support him and we are one with him. He didn't leave Syria. He didn't run away as many other leaders. And to be president to Syria, which is next to Israel, which is under horrible threat from the war, is something not luxury. He can easily leave with his family and live in luxury out of Syria. He is a doctor. And he didn't do this. He is still with us. He visited our soldiers. Someone will say also Bush visited his soldiers, but I will say here it is not the same case because our president is under threat. Many mercenaries want him as a target, and many Israelis want to assassinate him. But with that, you will see him suddenly between his soldiers without any guard, notable bodyguard. So we love President Assad so much, more than you.
The last thing we want to do tonight is to manifest something that would, cause an accident or something like that to happen. So, God forbid that would happen.
Right.
We don't want to talk about that. Okay. I haven't thought about that, but you bring up a very good point. And I agree with you. I've seen a lot of pictures with him of him being with the troops. And of course, here we have Obama, Bush, of course, war criminal and all that. He's over though. He's passed. But Obama now, on the other hand, he's very disrespectful to the military, and he's not very popular. His popularity is very, very low. If you look at his face now, you could see that he is in his face. You could see how much people hate him. It's crazy the what it's done to his expression. But enough of that. So yes, I agree, and I know you're having an election very soon, and I think that the reason why they're having the election is because they're mainly doing this for the world to see that the people of Syria are having an opportunity to select their leadership, and Russia there, of course, is there to make sure that nobody interferes, which is wonderful. But as we all know, he's already been reelected here only 2 years ago, something less than that, or more, or a little bit longer. I'm not sure, but and he had massive, he had an overwhelming vote, and there was overwhelming number of people showed up to vote, which is something we don't have here. And here in this country, we have probably less than half of the population, the voting population, actually votes. And when they do, they strictly vote via a party line, which is incredibly insane. Yeah, we have big problems. So yeah, Assad is very popular. Oh, well, gosh, we know who the enemies are. Certainly Saudi Arabia is no friend. Let me see. There was other things that I wanted to talk to you about. I'm trying to think. We never really got to talk about how you met the people over there at Press TV. Tell me a little bit about that. What was that like?
Press TV.
Yeah.
It was on March, my first appearance on Press TV. It was the starting of Saudi aggression on Yemen, and as I told you, I care about all people, and I used to stand with oppressed people. This is something in my blood. So I was so sad and angry. I want to fight Saudi Arabia. I did one video. I asked people all over the world to do demonstration against Saudi Arabia. It's enough for Saudi Arabia. And why the world is silent? Where is the international law? I was angry about the Arab League. I told you I call them Arab NATO. Yeah. And I think some of the Press TV members watched that video because I think that because just an hour after I made my own video, I got a message from some moral person. It is Ali Rashid. He sent me a message. I am from Press TV if you want to talk about Saudi aggression on Yemen. And it was such an opportunity for me to express my feeling and my viewpoint. And I said, yeah, it's my pleasure. That was my first appearance on Press TV.
And you did one more, I think. Did you do another Press TV?
Yeah, I did another one about refugee crisis. I did also another one about Russian and Syrian cooperation right now.
So that's 4 so far. About have you done any film ones? I know you produced your own films, and we'll talk about that company that helps you produce those films. But did you do any on-camera interviews for Press TV yet?
Yeah, with Ali, it was on camera, and also about refugee crisis. It was on camera, on phone, but on camera also. And I mentioned that they are trying to emptying Syria to later use this pretext to say there are no more Syrians in Syria. Most of Syrians are refugees, so the Syrian government is not legitimate anymore, and they will use this to relaunch a call to remove untouchable President Assad.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me get you to repeat that again a little bit because I think that was important. Could you say that again? They're saying that because of the refugee crisis, that the population can't possibly be representative. Is that kind of what you said? Could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, you suddenly we notice all media talking about refugee crisis, and they call most of refugee as Syrians. Syrians, they are not Syrians. We saw many from Libya, from Africa, not from Syria, but also they make as if all of refugees are Syrians, and they give them fake passports and to use this to say that all Syrians fleeing their government in Syria, and they will use this as a good and strong pretext to say no Syrians in Syria because of this government. So it is not legitimate and legal government. So they will relaunch a call to topple President Assad. That's what I was. That's what I said to Press TV about refugee crisis.
All right. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a very good point. It does remind me of something though. Our friend Mahmoud, that we all know, that's been on the show often. I don't know. I actually sent you a friend. Asked you to send him a friend request. He's a young guy, but he's got a girlfriend or whatever. Somebody he's cares about a lot. And apparently, she's leaving the country for Europe, and he is pretty devastated. And I don't know. This is going to happen for sure. But anyway, so there it is. That's a little close to home. That's a guy that actually lives in Damascus too. So it's not just people in the outskirts. It's everybody is looking for opportunity. A lot of people are looking for opportunity, economic opportunity, probably, huh? What do you think?
Yes, exactly. People flee the war and people flee the poverty. As you say, you want to help us, Stephen, to lift this embargo and sanction. And also, President Assad mentioned this in some of his interviews when the presenter asked him about refugees. He said people flee not only the war, also poverty because of sanction. Everything became so expensive. So we suffer here. We need peace. We need better life as a human. So people will search life in another countries, maybe in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And
all right,
also in the year 2013, when Mr. Obama wanted to bomb Syria, many people left Syria because they were afraid of this war directly bombing. It is enough the mercenaries now USA itself will bomb Syria under the claim of chemical weapons at that time. This is another story.
Yeah, they were afraid it was going to turn into Libya, which was a horrible, horrible crime. Gosh. All right, listen, Afraa.
Yeah.
I want to say this. We're almost at the end of the show. We've got 15 minutes. I'm a little disappointed nobody tried to call in. Again, that's 928-202-4608. If anybody wants to join us, like I said, you've only got a few minutes left to call. But your homework is to somehow to generate. We need to get people, not just you, of course, but you're going to keep making good stuff, I'm sure. But we need to get people. I'm thinking of one way we can fight this embargo is to make memes and circulate these things on Facebook and the internet. If we can, because people seem to react to on social media to nice memes, effective memes. Maybe if we could get your involved, Afraa, get your face, will attract some attention. I swear that sells, but. That's what we need. We need memes, simple memes that just say "end the embargo on Syria," something like that. Does that sound like a good idea? We really seriously, anybody listening, that's what we need to do. We need to get that mission. That's a simple message. End the embargo on Syria. We just need to get people to start saying that and thinking about it because nobody thinks about it.
Very important, much appreciated for you. Yeah, very, very important for people here. I can tell you that I met with a woman needs surgery and no good medicines for her surgery because of this sanction and because of the bombing of infrastructures here. So it's something so humanity, and we need to lift this embargo, this sanction on Syria for people, for humanity. Thank you for this.
I would hope that Russia is going to help out, and I think we had this discussion already. That there's a lot of things that Russia can do, but unfortunately there's a lot of things that you depend on from the West, which is very unfortunate. So that needs to be fixed. I think the people in Europe, though, are beginning to wake up. If you look at what's going on, for instance, look at a good example, Corbyn in England. Look at him, Alex. What's his name? Alex Corbyn, whatever. I mean, what a breath of fresh air over there in the Labour Party. And then, of course, Canada just had an election, and I really don't like Trudeau, but at the same time, he's very anti-war, and he doesn't take orders from Israel, which is incredible, at least near as I can tell. So this seems that the world is moving in that direction, and again, we have to keep fighting to make sure it continues that way. But we need to get that embargo lifted. So that's probably the most important thing that we are that we have to talk about, right?
Yeah, we need the voice of American people for this. That would be great. That would be great to help us for lifting this sanction on Syrian people.
Okay. All right, everybody listening. Yeah, everybody listening, please, post on Facebook, lift the embargo on Syria. It's such a simple message, lift the embargo. So we need to get people to create effective memes, and we need this message to become viral. And of course, Afraa, we need to get you maybe to make a wonderful video with tell us real quick about the people that were working with you to generate some of the video stuff that you've done already. Sorry if I'm talking too fast.
It's okay, my pleasure. Thank you for your opportunity.
Tell us about that company. I know that, is it a British company, the people that you've been working with? Can you tell us about that?
British company?
The guys that did the video, I know you did a video that you shared with me recently. Yeah.
Yeah, they are friends of me by Facebook, by the way, also.
Right.
They sent me a message. They tried to connect anyone from Syria, but some people, as they said, not anyone dare to do it because you will be a target for the so-called moderate rebels here in Syria.
Yeah, that's true.
By the way, yeah, I was in their list for wanted. By the way, from the first of this war.
Oh, are we gonna get you in trouble if I make you popular and get your face all over the place?
No, because I told you I love what I do. I believe in it, so I can't have someone. So we
all right.
no.
Well, we need everybody to send her energy, protective energy.
Yeah. So when I got their message, so it was very good to work to say the truth. Also in UK, the YouTube channel name is ED. Educated TV, to educate people in UK about the truth here in Syria.
Oh, we have a caller. Okay, Afraa, we have our first caller. Okay, who's this? 978. Who is this?
Hi, I'm Jeff, and I'm from Massachusetts.
Hi, Jeff. Real quick, what would you like to say?
Wow. I just wanted to quickly say that, regarding what it's going to take to basically get this world really changed towards, some type of sanity. I think really what is important is that individual drive to basically be interested to learn more about the world that we live in. Most people here don't have any idea about basically anything that's going on past their what they can see through their physical eyes. They don't even have a thought to give about places like Syria. All the information they know is through the television screen, and we know how mind controlled that is. So I just wanted to give everybody a bunch of hope. I'm doing my best on my end to learn everything I can and get the word out and educate as many people as possible about how basically our world is in incredible danger and darkness and how we got to turn it around or we're going to lose it.
Well, you're going to help us out with this end the embargo message?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't really understand what I can do. I mean, I don't really do much that it's too harmful anymore.
Ripples in a pond, man. You might touch somebody else, right? You might touch somebody else that will do something, right?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I do have a group of people over here, and there's many people I know that are working on basically learning all about the information that is basically need to know to get the world back into a state of not chaos and murder, because these psychopathic people in charge need to get the fuck out of here.
Gotta let you go, Keith. I'm sorry, Keith. Keith. Sorry, dude. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize for that, everybody. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, that doesn't happen too often. Jeez. Okay, I apologize, Afraa. We are obviously, yeah, we're a radio station. People have to control what they say on the radio. Ouch. Keith, are we okay?
Yeah, we're good. That people do not use bad language on the radio. He had some very good points, but you just can't use certain words.
Yeah. That was some naughty. Oh gosh, wow. Okay. Anyway, we don't keep track of how often that happens. Doesn't happen too often, but our policy is you have to immediately let that person go. That's the only thing we can do. Okay. Anyway, all right. Well, again, I am happy though that we did have a caller. I noticed we've just only got a few minutes left, but he did. I think he did bring up a good point, and I think that is that if everybody out there listening only talks to a couple of people and spreads the message, then we're being very effective, right? So that's our job here. So I'm glad we do have people like that out there that are trying to learn the truth, not from the TV. Any final words that you want to say, Afraa? We don't really have a whole lot of time, but do you have any message that you want to give people? Just kind of inspiration, real quick. Maybe tell us about would you like us to have people join your Facebook page, things like that? What do you recommend? What do you think?
Yeah, before of all, I encourage people to join us to fight this global movement of terror, at least in world, at least in searching the truth, because it is not a threat only for Syrians. This is a threat for the whole world, for the new generations, for your kids, for our kids. It's important. It is our duty as a human on this ground to improve that we deserve to be human when we defend our humanity, when we become one against this kind of war, new style of war under the claim of ISIS. And we have one enemy. We should be one to fight this terror. That's what I want, what I ask. No one can say this is not my business, what's going on in Syria. You will be the next. Syria is just a step. If they succeeded in Syria, God forbidden, you will be the next. That's what I want to say.
Okay, so take that, America. Okay, Afraa, listen, it's been a pleasure having you, of course, and I look forward to having you back again soon, and we'll talk a little bit after we disconnect from the station, so don't hang up. You have to go to work today here in about an hour, is that right?
Yeah, after a bit, I was on my work. Thank you for the interview. Thank you for your voice, Stephen. Thank you for everyone cares of our speech today. Thank you.
Well, again, thank you for being here, and we will certainly have you back. I want to remind everybody, you've only got a few minutes left. If you want to take advantage of that ounce of silver bar, you have to donate $50 to the station, and you have to make sure that you mention my name, Stephen D. Kelley, and Silver Rush, okay? And there's also a thing he's got with a ball cap. If you donate $75, he'll throw in a ball cap. So either way, take advantage of that. You only got a few minutes. If you want to get a silver bar, put my name on it, Stephen D. Kelley, Silver Rush. All right, Afraa, thank you so much. Gosh, this has been the Stephen D. Kelley Show. I hope everybody listening has enjoyed it as much as I have. I'll tell you, I guess I'm getting kind of numb to this sort of thing, but Afraa, I don't think people understand what it's like. Sort of like what the listener was saying. I think I take it for granted, but being able to talk to people like you and have the effect on the world, the truth that we're doing, like being on Press TV. You saw my video, of course. That's, like you said, it's a small world, and it's kind of humbling, right? I mean, do you feel that way sometimes with the work that we're doing? Do you feel kind of that it's all so bigger than us?
I feel it's our duty. We should do it. We should do it. We cannot keep silent. We cannot leave this period and do nothing. It's shameful. So
Yeah.
At least we can fight. We can fight. Sometimes I want to fight in the battlefield, by the way.
I'm afraid that's the end of the show. Listen again, Afraa, thank you so much. You were wonderful. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, everybody that supports us out there. Please continue to support the station. This was the Stephen D. Kelley Show. My name is Stephen D. Kelley. Thank you very much, everybody. Adios. Good night. God bless.
Listening to Revolution Radio.
What are we supposed to do?
I'm gonna fight, because I'm used to it. The rest of you are gonna have a tougher choice. And look, I don't want to sell it to you. It's too ugly for that. And it's ugly, and it's hard. But when you're fighting in your own backyard, you're fighting for your family. It all hurts a little less, and it makes a little more sense. But for us, this is our home. Even the tiniest flea can drive a big dog crazy. So the first thing we have to do is learn how to work together. Become a unit. And that's going to take some time. So we're going to have to evolve. Rewire our reflexes. Learn new skills and adapt old ones. So we'll find people we can trust. Friends with their ears to the ground who can help us get the things we need to fight back. Watch what they do. Study their tactics, their routines. The more we know, the easier it will be to hurt them. But we'll need to be smart, and we'll need to be patient. We'll hit them on our terms, when we're good and ready. We inherited our freedom. Now it's up to all of us to fight for it.
Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, where the fight begins and information never sleeps. The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now